Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we are going to have a look at calculating averages from discrete data. Now hopefully you recall from the previous video that discrete data is data that we measure, it's countable, we measure it in integer values. So for example, your shoe size or the number of cups of tea you drink on a day. We can count it. I know shoe size, we can have half a size, half, 7.5 or 8.5, etc. But generally we refer to integer values. We think of integer exact values when we are working with discrete data. So I'm just going to write here integer values. In contrast to that, we have continuous data, which can take any value. So your height, your weight, the time you ran when you did the cross-country 4K race, and so on and so forth. Okay, also a quick recap of averages that you need to be familiar with. We have here 4 averages. The first one is the mode, and the mode is also sometimes referred to as the modal value. And the mode is the value that occurs most often. A different way of thinking about it is it has the highest frequency if we have a frequency table. The second average you need to be familiar with is the median value. It is the middle value, but there is a caveat there, the middle value after the data has been arranged in order of size, so from the smallest to the highest value. You first have to do that before you work out the middle value. Just one other thing to notice. If I have, let's say I have 1, 4, 7, 8, 10, and 12. I've just randomly picked these number and in order of size. Then if I have, this is an even amount. If I count them, there are 6 values. Okay. In this case, my middle value is not the third value. I can't say 6 divided by 2, I'm picking the third value. It's actually, I have 2 values in the middle. So when I have an even amount, it's useful to add 1 to get 7, and 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, so I'm actually taking the 3.5 value, which is right in the middle of 3 and 4, the third and fourth value, and in this case the 3.5 value is 7.5. So the median here is 7.5. Whereas if I just had 1, 4, 7, 8, and 10, I would have had 5 values, and therefore right in the middle here is this value, the 1, 4, 7, 8, and 10. I can still use 5 add 1 gives me 6 values, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, and the third value is 7. So when we work out the median, we always do n for the number of values there are, n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, just think about that. And that's if it's half a value like 3.5 here, then it means we find in the middle of 3 and in the middle of 4, whatever that value, the third and fourth value, take the average halfway between them. Okay, as I said, this is just a recap. You should be familiar with this already. The mean is just the average of all of the values. That means we add them all together and we divide by how many there are. And the range, hopefully you remember, it's the highest value, subtract the lowest value. Now, again, I just need to add a little note here. The range isn't an average. These 3 are averages, right? So these 3 always have to be similar in size. They have to be close together. The range is actually a measure of spread. It's how spread out the data is. So if I think about all of these values, they're spread out across 12 minus 1 is 11, across 11. That's how spread out they are. Okay. Let's have a look at an example. And in both the examples I'm going to work on, we're going to be given a frequency table. Okay, and a frequency table, remember, is just a summary of the list of data. So if I ask 100 teachers how many cups of coffee they drink each day, and I record all of that, I will have a tally of 100. We looked at tables in a previous video. I don't need the tally. I don't need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just need the total here. The frequency is the total, 7. So 7 people drink 0 cups of coffee a day. 11 people drink 1 cup of coffee. 18 people drink 2 cups of coffee, etc. So this is my frequency table, and I know the total here will be 100 because it tells me that in the question. And if it doesn't tell me that, then I just add up the frequency column to get my total. Right, so there are 4 questions here. Work out the modal number of cups of coffees. That's the first one we're starting with. Now, mode or modal means most common. And we said an easy trick is just to look at the highest frequency. We're looking for the highest frequency, which is 26 here. 26 is not my answer. The answer is not 26. 26 people drink 3 cups of coffee. 26 people drink 3 cups of coffee. So 3 is the actual answer. And I've given this there to guide you, but you might not be told that. They might just say, find the mode or work out the modal value. And that often people will write down the frequency rather than what is it actually that we're collecting data on. We're collecting data on the number of cups of coffee. So 3 cups of coffee is the mode, is the most common number of cups of coffee that people drink a day. Okay, next one, work out the median cups of coffee consumed. So for median, we said we need to arrange it in order of size. Luckily, it already is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I need to work out the middle number of cups of coffee per day. So remember we said N is the total. N is there, my total number of bits of data that I collected. I asked 100 people. So I say N plus 1. In this case is 100 add 1, so 101. And I divide that by 2, which gives me 50.5. So the 50th person and the 51st person, how many cups of coffee did they drink? So let's work that out. Well, the first 7 people drank 0. Then I add 11, so I'm getting up to 18 here. So that's at 1. Then I add 18 again to get me to 36. Right, 36 is up to 2. And then I add 26. So 36 at 26 gives me 62, which means 50 and 51 must lie in this row. And let me just rub this out. And that is because up to here I've got 36, right? So if I list out the first 36 people, it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 7 times, and then 11 ones, and then 18 twos. That means up to here is 62. That means 50 and 51, person number 50 and person number 51 is 3. Well, and so I'll have 3 and 3, and halfway in between those two, still 3. I hope that makes sense. So the median is 3. Okay, the median is 3. And remember what we said, mode, median, and mean, they need to lie close together. So that kind of makes sense. The range number of cups of coffee is the highest number of cups of coffee, which is 6. 6. Take away the lowest, 0. It's not the frequency. It is 6 minus 0, which is 6 cups of coffee. The number of cups of coffee are spread out between 0 and 6, so 6. Okay, and now we get to the mean. We just rub all of this out. The mean is adding everything up and dividing by how many there are. Okay, we know there's 100 teachers. Okay, but I need to work out what's the total number of cups of coffee drank by all the teachers. Okay, so that's going to be 7 lots of 0. 7 times 0 plus 11 teachers drank 1 cup of coffee. 11 teachers drank 1. 11 times 1 plus 18 times 2 plus 26 times 3 plus 17 teachers drank 4 cups of coffee plus 15 teachers drinking 5 cups of coffee plus 6 teachers drinking 6 cups of coffee. So all of that added together, divided by 100 teachers in total. And when you work that out on your calculator, so you're going to get 304 divided by 100, which gives me roughly 3.04 cups of coffee. And when I compare that to my mode and my median, I'm happy because it's similar. It's very close to 3. Okay, now I know you can't drink 3.04 cups of coffee, but we're going to leave it as 3.04 because that is the exact average. Okay, so that was the first example. Let's have a look at one more. I asked a group of students how many times they exercise per week. There are the results in the frequency table. So what I suggest is you pause the video, have a go at A, B, C, D, and then you play and you compare it to my answers. Okay, so let's go and work this out. Mode number of times a week a student exercise per week. Well, we're looking for the highest frequency, which is 21. The answer is not 21, the answer is 3. So 3 times per week. The median is the middle number of times a student exercised per week. So I need to go and add up this frequency here. 3 people exercise 0 times. Add 7, I get 10. Up to 10, I've either exercised 0 or 1 time a week. 10 at 13 gives me 23. So 23 people either 0, 1 or twice, 2 times a week. 23 at 21 is 23 at 21 is actually 44. I need to find the median. Obviously, I also need to go and work out the total frequency, but let me just finish. 44 at 11 is 55, and 55 at 5 is 60. So I've got 60 people. I add 1 to get 61. Remember, we say n plus 1 and divided by 2. So 61 divided by 2 is 30.5. So I want the 30.5th value, which is in between 30 and 31. Okay, so 23 people, up to 23, I either exercise 0, once or twice a week. That means the 30th and 31st person is going to lie in this interval. So again, the median is 3. 3. Okay, because the 30th person exercises 3 times a week and the 31st person exercises 3 times a week. The average between those two will obviously just stay 3. Right, the range, nice and easy. The difference between the maximum number of times exercised and the least number of times exercised. 5 take away 0 is 5. Okay, and then lastly, the mean number of times a week. We expect it to be similar to the mode and the median. So let me just clear this table, and then we're going to work this out. The mean is 3 times 0. 3 times 0 plus 7 times 1 plus 13 times 2, I just work my way through the table, plus 21 times 3 plus 11 times 4 plus 5 people exercised 5 times. divide that by how many people exercised, which is 60, and that should give you an answer of, when you work this out, 165 divided by 60, and that comes to 2.75, which makes me happy because it's similar to 3 and 3 there. So I know I've got this right. Okay, I'm in the correct vicinity of what the mean should be. Okay, hope that was useful. If it was, please give me a like. If not, tell me why not and what else you'd like to see. Yes, thank you for watching.